You know that saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure? Well, that's how I felt when I first laid eyes on the rusty hunk of metal that used to be a 1967 Ford Mustang. Picture this: broken windows, a missing hood, and enough rust to make a tin man cry. It looked less like a car and more like the skeletal remains of a dinosaur. Why the Mustang? Well, my dad had one when I was a kid, a shiny red beauty that I wasn't allowed to touch. Restoring this wasn't just about the car. It was about rekindling that nostalgia, mixed with a hefty dose of, what have I gotten myself into? Day one, I found a rat's nest in the glove box. That's when I decided this restoration wasn't just a project. It was going to be a battle. The first step was cleaning, or as I like to call it, exorcising the demons. I spent hours scrubbing grime that could probably be carbon dated. The smell? Imagine a wet sock that's been marinating in motor oil for a decade. Next came the parts. Finding replacements was like a scavenger hunt, except the prize was spending money. I spent weekends hunting through scrap yards and arguing with online sellers over the price of a single door handle. When I finally got the engine block, I hugged it like a long-lost friend, grease stains and all. Painting the Mustang was the most satisfying and nerve-wracking part. Choosing the color was like naming a child. I went with Highland Green, the same color as Steve McQueen's Mustang in Bullet. When the paint job was done, it sparkled like a gem in the sun, and I couldn't help but stand back and whisper, "You clean up nice, old girl." But let's talk about setbacks. There was the time I dropped a wrench on my foot, or when I accidentally reversed the polarity on the wiring and turned the headlights into flashers. My favorite analogy? Restoring this car was like assembling IKEA furniture, if the instructions were written in hieroglyphs. The real magic happened when I turned the key and the engine roared to life. I say roared, but it was more of a cough followed by a growl. It was like waking up a bear from hibernation. I sat there, hands trembling, listening to the rumble of the V8. My neighbors probably thought I'd won the lottery from all the shouting and fist-pumping I was doing. That sound? It was music, not just any music, my music, created by months of sweat, busted knuckles, and an unhealthy amount of coffee. The first test drive was surreal. The engine purred, the tires hugged the road, and for a moment I was Steve McQueen, minus the chase scene. Driving that Mustang felt like stepping back in time, a reminder of why I fell in love with cars in the first place. As I cruised down the street, heads turned. A kid on the sidewalk even yelled, "Cool car." That's when I realized this wasn't just a car, it was a symbol of persistence and passion. Restoring the Mustang taught me patience, problem solving, and that sometimes the journey is as rewarding as the destination. So, here's my takeaway. Sometimes the best things in life come covered in rust and rat nests. Restoring this Mustang wasn't just about the car, it was about proving to myself that with enough determination and a good mechanic on speed dial, anything is possible. Next time you see an old car in a junkyard, don't just walk by. Take a second look. Who knows? It might just be waiting for someone like you to bring it back to life. Keep the wheels turning and always drive your dreams.